Here. I'm here with who?
Taylor Sager.
Yo, congrats on making top eight, my guy. Seven plays. It's been a minute, you top. The last time I seen you, I know you've been playing different card games. How you been? And well, what have you been doing ever since the last time you haven't you took the game for a break?
Um, so I've been doing all right, and so got a top like a year and a half back during Sprite tier format.
Mm-hmm,
That was the only time. That was the last time that I really grinded the game. Then I took a break, played One Piece,
mm-hmm,
that game's whatever, and then I came back and started hard grinding with my buddies.
mm-hmm,
And I'm just glad the work's been paying off because I'm
mm-hmm.
getting tops again. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that I'm
Congrats.
seeing results with the work.
Yeah, congrats on making it back to back. Hopefully to see you more in the future. And before doing the deck profile, you want to give any shout outs, by the way?
Shout out to all the Bountiful boys, all the Leighton boys, Edgar, Brandon, Andrew, Trevin, Ronnie, Sam, Ethan, all those guys. Like if you're in with me, like you're all being shout out. Like you know who you are. You guys are goated. You guys are awesome, and you guys are all pushing me to do my best at events and helping me grind. Big shout outs Thomas as well. He's huge help. Like he's one of the better players in Utah, one of the more underrated players, and he's freaking crazy at the game. I have a
Mm-hmm.
hard time with him, and he's like the main guy that like is giving me a run for my money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
Thomas is goaded. He didn't top the event with me, sadly, but he should have.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, don't worry, there'll be other time. And what day were you playing for this event, by the way?
I played Malice Fiendsmith.
Ooh, okay, okay. Already, ready when you are to do the deck profile, my guy.
All right. So main deck was 42. I couldn't find enough cards to cut to get it down to 40, so I just went with 42. So for the main core, I played the 3 White Rabbit, the 3 Dormouse, the 2 Cheshire Cat, and the honorary Malice Monster Dotscaper. This card's crazy in extension. Like all of these are super good. A lot of lists are playing one of this. I like having the second going game one because you don't know what you're encountering and you don't know what non-engine your opponent's playing. So having the additional bodies in your deck helps when you do get to a grind game state with like the Dormouse or like TB11 and stuff. I like having it, but once you know what your opponent's doing, like you can. I always side out one. Like I usually side out like 1, 1, and 1. Go post side into games 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 3 the field spell because it's a starter and extender. The 4th field spell. Lists are on Signet, but I played Allure. I like this card way better because you can banish your bodies. You get 2 cards out of it, and you're just digging and you're playing. And what's
Mm-hmm.
even better is this isn't once per turn, so if they ash you or Dominus Purge you, you just be like, all right, cool. Another alert. Like that happened in my final game against Voiceless. I went alert. He chained Purge, and I was like, all right, cool. Alert, and he's like, oh, that works. I'm like, sick. I just hand looped you.
Yo, that's
Um,
crazy.
and then the other Gold Sark, it's essentially another Allison Underground.
Mm.
Um, and then I played 2 TB11, 1 MTP, and 1 GWC. I like hard drawing this one. I don't like hard drawing these because these require you to be already playing, and you want to use this as an interruption piece. This is the best trap, but only when you've got your engine rolling. This one's nice if you hard draw it with a name. It basically says your imperms, your veilers, your droplets, like a lot of that stuff is just irrelevant. Unless they send a trap, then it's just like, okay, cool. You can't respond to droplet, obviously, but you normal Dormouse, and it's like your only starter, and it's your only way to play, and you open TB11, you just Dormouse, they chain Veiler, you TB11. And if they continue to negate the body that comes off TB11, it doesn't matter because it doesn't activate anyways. Like I had a
Mm.
dude do that to me. It was he had a droplet and he sent, and I was like, cool, send Dormouse for the TB11, and then he negated the body that came off of it, and I was like, okay, cool, because I wasn't using it anyways. So this like the dodge effect on these is insane. And then the secondary engine that carried me the other half of the day was the cash cards. I just play the 5-card package in the 1 planet, the 1 birth, the 1 Fenrir, 2 unicorn. Unicorn in this build is better than Fenrir because unicorn gets you birth, and it basically translates into 2 bodies. Or if they Lancia you, you get this with this, and then you end your board with IP Unicorn, so you at least have something if you get Lancia'd. If they Lancia you, you're just passing on Fenrir. Like, if you just use Fenrir and it's just that singular body, this one counts as 2. Plus, in the mirror, you just rip their Red Ransom and their White Binder, and it's just GG from there if they're not playing this package. Like, I think this package, personally, is way better than the Striker package because just once you get Birth in rotation, they have to answer it, but they also have to answer your Maliss cards. And this just gives you a way better grind game than the Striker cards, in my opinion. Plus, the Striker cards suck ass in the mirror match because Shark Cannon does nothing, Widow Anchor does nothing. Like, they're all bad because you just hold a trap when you know they have Striker stuff. Then for all the non-engine, this is like what won me my games yesterday. 2 Nib. It was going to be 3, but the night before, my buddies were just like, because I was on 2 of this originally and 3 Nib, but they're just like, play 3 Fugaros because this is a turn skip and you'll just draw into the Nib, which was like the correct logic. And I'm glad I went with the 3 over 3 of this. This card's broken. It's definitely not required. Like, you don't need this card to win games, but the games that you do see it and they don't have an answer, they usually do like 1 or 2 things and pass, or they just pass. And then you just are playing into their non-engine, and if you have more extenders than them, you just win. Ash, because it beats this card, and it is just good against like duo drive and such. And Snake and Fire decks are out of the meta, so this card's even better because you don't just say, cool, your heat is a free extender. Imperm, it essentially stops the same things that Ash is stopping right now. Plus, if you open it going first, it's just awesome blocking columns and stuff. I only played 2 Bestials. I felt Baldrake wasn't necessary, and these 2 were insane because if you open Magnemite, you get Druis Worm, and if you open Druis Worm, then it's just another interaction on your opponent's board. And you just clear bodies with it. And then the MVP all day was Book of Eclipse. This card was insane. Like, just into the Rizio board, if they don't have Ash, you just be like, cool. And you book their whole board and you play into it and you remove a bunch of it. It's also nice, like, going first, you can set it. And then if they have enough extenders to push through it, then you just use it when they're, like, about to go duo drive, or when they make duo drive and you just book it. They can't detach, and they're just SOL at that point. Plus, it's just good against rogue decks as well. Like, the Cash Fiendsmith decks, like, obviously this was the deck in Fiendsmith meta, and it's just not Fiendsmith Cash meta. It does the same thing against the Cash Fiendsmith deck. Like, they summon the Cash cards, you book them. Or if they, like, summon the Fiendsmith and they're trying to make Caesar, then you book their stuff and they can't make Caesar. Like, this is just nice because it can, like, it doesn't stop the grind game of Fiendsmith, but it can stop them. Then called by, because this card is like one of the most sacky cards in the game, and I drew this like it was like I was getting paid to. Like, it was insane.
Yup. Would you change anything about? Would you change anything about your main deck at all, or you like the way how it is? Just curious on that part.
Honestly, like, the main deck felt amazing. Like, the only thing I would change, if I felt like it, is cut 1 Cheshi, 1 TB11. It makes it 40 if you cut these, but I like having the additional bodies game 1.
Yeah, makes sense. The grind game too.
Yeah, the grind game having 2 TB11 is just, like, insane. It's so good. Yeah. Then for the extra deck, I played only 2 Link 1s. I didn't play Link Spider. All my testing, I've never needed it. I think the lines that you do with Link Spider are worse than the lines that you do without. Link Decoder is broken, and so is Lingaribo. Because you make Lingaribo in the mirror, and you just stop, like, GWC or TB11. MTP 7 doesn't matter. Like, you don't care about that one. You care about GWC and TB11 in the mirror match. Plus, you can use this randomly. Like, if you can keep it on the board to, like, stop Imperm on your bodies if you've already used their special summon back. And then Link Decoder is just this is essentially free Link 2, which is, like, broken. And you chain block with this card. Then Haggard Lizardos, SP, Splash Mage, and IP for the Link 2s. IP I made once, and that was when I got Lanciad and didn't have a way to stop it. I made this with the Unicorn, as I mentioned earlier. But other than that, like this card's just like mid. Splash Mage is also like one of the worst Link to extenders, but it's also necessary because it's a Cybers deck. Because this locks you, so you can't make SP or Haggard. If you make this, like you're just locked out of using these, and I'd much rather use these over this. SP is broken. I made this almost every single game, not to banish my opponent's stuff, but to banish my own cards, because it also allows me to dodge Nib, which is insane. And then Haggard Lizardos banishes for cost, and that's broken.
Yup.
So I had 3 people yesterday go on summon response, and they go imperm Valor. I'm like, bet banishes cost target. It's just like it's insane. And then Red Ransom, White Binder, Heart Scriptor. These are all required. This card's insane. I had multiple people yesterday like pick this card up and read it, and we're like, there's no text on here that says you can only use one of these effects per turn. Like, why does this card have 3 effects on it? I'm like, I don't know. Konami gave me 3 effects, and I'm gonna use all of them. So, but these ones are insane. Like, these are almost on all my end boards. Like this gets you to field spell. Obviously, this just deals with your opponent's graveyard, which is awesome. Because most of the time when I get to this, I don't really need to use it to banish my bodies to extend. I'm only doing that if I'm doing weird lines. Outside of that, I'm just getting rid of all their stuff out of grave. And then Heart Scriptor is like how you go for a game. It's also nice, like if you can get to it and you can GWC and gain 2,500 life. Sometimes that is a way to win in time. Is you just get 3 bodies and then you summon this and then like link it off. Yeah, because GWC gains life for some reason. Konami didn't learn with Lacrima. Then for the Link 4s, I played Griffin, I played Firewall, and I played Access Code. These 2 were broken. I didn't make this card once.
Wow.
I probably should be making this card, but I'm not doing any of the lines that do make this card because I never needed any of them to win. This card just says, if you have a White Binder in the grave that you haven't used the effect, or a Red Ransom or a Heart Cryptor, and you made this, target, make 53, effect, banish it, summon back, now they're 29 because most of the time you've used Dormouse. And you just go for a game. It's just over at that point. It's crazy. And Griffin, the line that plays around Nibiru, Jeff Jones talked about it in his profile after Anaheim, and that was the line that I was using all day yesterday. Because it plays around Nib, and then it puts this up. And sometimes they wait to nib me when I go to end my turn. It's like, cool, I have everything set up, it doesn't matter. But if they don't, this card just beats Ryziel. Ryziel doesn't beat this card without non-engine, and it's crazy. And they have to burn their non-engine on stopping this, and then this stuff just goes off for free, and I remove their bodies. Like, if you're not playing this card, find room in your extra deck and learn the lines to play this card. This card's crazy. Also, doing this combo draws you 4 cards.
Sheesh.
Like,
I didn't know about that part.
And then Terahertz, Devisworm, and Aggregator. The night before, I almost cut these 2 cards to play a second White Binder, a second Red Ransom, because I was super scared of the Kashtira cards. Because the locals that day, the locals the day before, I got unicorned 3 times, and they ripped these. It was really hard. And I was scared of that. But I was like, if I'm playing well, I just don't lose a unicorn. So I still played these. And I made this card once, and it was in the mirror match. And I didn't really need it to win the game. But, like, if you're getting to this card and it's resolving and getting big, you've probably already won the game.
Dang.
But there's no reason not to play it, because unicorn it's around, but it's not everywhere. That's so true. It's just fine. Like the only thing I would change is I'd probably cut the Firewall Dragon, to be completely honest, and maybe put the Link Spider back just in case I need to link off the token off a nib, or I may just play a second SP because SP is insane in this stuff.
Agreed.
And then for side deck, I played 2 Bell. This card is so underrated this format. It stops plug-in. It stops all the Malice effects to summon back. It stops GWC. It stops Fiendsmith cards. It stops Birth. Like this card just does so much right now. It also beats Lab. And Lab's also a very underrated deck, I think, as well, because that card just searches out all the things that kill all the top deck shots. Yeah, so I love having this card just because it deals with so much. Lancia, it's for the mirror, and I wanted to be able to cross out it because if I get Lancia, I lose the game. This was another card that I drew like it was my job to draw it, and I'm happy for that because a lot of the time I would just lose to this, and I just didn't. But then I played 2 Thrust, and then the targets for it. D-Barrier was insane in my Ryzugo matchup. Game 2, I just sighted it in and just was set from there. Like, because the guy that I played against, he plays weird at locals and randomly makes people go second. And I just had a feeling like, hey, I'm just going to put these in. Let's just see if he does it. He made me go first, and I was like, cool. I have this in my deck. I just win now.
That's a blowout.
What? Yeah. This card just, you flip this against Ryzio and they don't have Fiendsmith cards in their deck, you just say, cool, GG. Talents, Duster, and Lightning Storm were all super good. I wasn't going to be caught dead without these in my deck because it is a regional. You're going to play against random macro decks. And I'm glad I had these. Ultimate Slayer I didn't draw once, so I couldn't tell you how good this card is. I don't know if it's good in the meta or bad. I didn't draw it.
True.
And
just
I
need to test more, play more.
Never. Yeah, basically. There was never a situation where I needed to thrust it. Like, there was just better thrust targets.
Yeah. But yeah, what you say? Thank you for the deck profile for making top 8. And will we be seeing you at YCS Florida or YCS Vegas 3v3 coming up?
I'm definitely going to the 3v3. Shout out Bill and Sterling for being my teammates. We are grinding hard. We are going to top that event. We're not going for anything less. Orlando, I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it, but most likely not. We'll see.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, congrats on top 8, and I'm looking forward to seeing you more in the future. And your boy, 7 Horn 92 is signing out. Peace.